Hey everyone, Mario again, coming at you with another episode of the Mar Talks podcast. Sorry that this episode is a couple days late. Been meaning to record it, but, life gets in your way. Anyways, you can tell from the title, this is a new episode on this podcast. It is called Theater Experience. This is an episode where, obviously, I go to the movie theater and watch a film that I've already seen on the big screen, or watch a film that I've been meaning to watch for the first time on the big screen. And what better movie to start with than one of the granddaddies of slasher films, the 1973 classic, directed by Tobe Hooper, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, I watched this at Temecula Cinemas, and for those of you who don't live in Southern California in the Riverside County area, that is a small theater that is about 8 miles from where I live. It's a theater that gets the movies normally later in their theatrical run, and thus each ticket is cheaper. Like, their matinee prices are like $3.50-ish, and their evening prices are $4 something. And at least once or twice a month they'll do throwback cinema, which is where they'll show older films. And obviously during October they show horror films. Now these showings are usually $5, so they're most expensive showing, but they're worth it because it's fun, especially to watch it if it's a film you love with fellow fans. And for October, they're doing it 4 times. In addition to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they're showing The Craft, which that's this week's film. I don't know if I'll go yet or not. They're going to show the original Exorcist in 2 weeks, which that one I'm definitely going to see. And then the last week, they're going to be showing Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm still on the fence whether I want to go see that one or not. I mean, I haven't seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. Some of you are probably going, Mario, you're a fan of cinema and you love musicals and you've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show? I know. I've seen bits and pieces of it, like everyone knows, Sweet Transvestite. And that's basically all I know from it. And the only song I really know pretty well is the opening song, Science Fiction Double Feature, but that's not really from the musical version, it's from the Misfits cover. Kind of a rock musical feel there. Science Fiction Double Feature. That's kind of how he carries the melody in it. Anyway, I'm getting a little off topic with that, but that's setting the stage for this. Well, they usually show it 2 nights in a row. They show one on Friday and one on Saturday. I went to the Friday showing. Went home first, then went back, went to the gym, and then went to the theater. Got there about 40 minutes early because I wanted to make sure I still had time to get tickets. And that worry was kind of for naught because the showing wasn't sold out. The theater was pretty packed, but it wasn't full. Which kind of makes sense. Not everyone who wants to see the film is going to go on a Friday night, maybe Saturday night. Though I had a pretty good amount of horror fans in there with me. Like when they were doing the Q&A section, they even asked about which version of The Exorcist they're showing, which is going to be the original cut, which that's a relief. I mean, I don't mind the version you've never seen before, but its pacing kills it a bit compared to the original cut. And of course, they also asked if this was a film or Blu-ray version, and they said it's a hard drive version, and he's like, film is dead. He said it like in a kind of sigh way. First of all, I did splurge. I got a drink, a medium one, and a pretzel. Been a while since I've had a pretzel. It was pretty good. And their drink one, it's a self-serve one that has that option to add all the different flavor add-ons. You know, there's classic cherry and vanilla. I got a cherry vanilla one. Then they have ones like lime, orange, and other ones. Some of those are pretty good. They even have raspberry. Robert? I don't see any Robert. Let's see who can catch that reference. I know someone out there will. Well, I was actually served by one of the managers, and we're having a little conversation. But it was an interesting conversation. Even he's the one that let it slip. Yeah, they have trivia. I think everyone tells everyone that, but just the way he said it kind of was telling me like a way like, hey, there's gonna be trivia. Just thought you ought to know. I did study up on it, and trivia is how they opened the showing. There was a couple ones on there like, oh, I should have looked at that one. Then ones that I didn't know, I didn't get my hand up fast enough. One I almost did, and that was the last one, and I was like, damn it. Because I'm one of those ones that likes to wait until the question's fully asked before I raise my hand, just in case the first part makes it seem like I know the answer, and the last part, like, oh, fuck, I don't know that. But other people don't seem to have that luxury, but it's like, what if you don't have the answer? So, for Exorcist, I might, but I don't know the Exorcist trivia as well as I know the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one, even though before it all began, I did refresh my memory with IMDb. Gotta love IMDb. And that kind of helped a little bit. Like, one of them, I didn't raise my hand for this because I thought it was a little too easy. It was like, who played Leatherface? I probably should have shot. The moment I heard the leather, I should have rose my hand. What did the hitchhiker rub on the side of the van? I thought he was asking, like, what did they use for blood? And it was like, oh, blood. I was like, I should have known that. Trying to remember what other ones. I can't remember the other ones off the top of my head. Anyway, no commercials. Film just starts. One thing I noticed off the bat that I have never noticed when watching this film, mainly because I've only watched it on TV, is that the scene where it's all the camera flashing and you see the body parts in the cinema, because it's dark and because it's a big screen, you kind of get that flash effect as if someone were to take that flashing bulb and flash in your eyes. Now, it doesn't last as long, obviously, but I got that feeling and it was like, ooh. It's like, good thing this movie isn't in 3D. That'd be very, very awkward. And, of course, the film playing out. It was fun to watch it on there. I mean, you know all the beats that's coming, so it's like, all right, here it comes. And seeing the kills and stuff on the big screen was interesting. And I kind of put myself in the mindset of someone in the 70s watching it. It's not quite the same, but I got a little bit of the feeling like, okay, watching it in here, I could see why this freaked a lot of people out and why this film was banned in certain areas. Now, since I'm watching with a bunch of fans, they're, of course, laughing at the moments that are funny, like Franklin. Come on, Franklin, gonna be a big trip. Him is the comic relief. And, of course, some of the darker moments, like Leatherface, which, this is one thing I will have to agree with good bad flicks on Leatherface, is that some of the later films, even though they do kind of show him as mentally deficient, they do kind of get this aspect of the character wrong, and is that he's more of a Frankenstein monster type creature, and that he's misunderstood to a point, and the only reason he kills people is because he was raised by a cannibalistic family, and it's not the thing he wants to do, it's just what they expect of him, so he does it. It's with part 3 that they start to make him slightly mentally deficient, but he kills people because he enjoys it. I don't remember in part 4 if they still had that vibe, but I think it does. The remake has that vibe. That's one thing I'll say that Texas Chainsaw at least got right. We'll rewatch that film one day down the road and you get my full thoughts on it, but watching it with them, you get that feeling. And of course they laugh at the moments like, "Oh, stop it, Dan, you ruined the damn door!" Then of course when the oldest brother, Sawyer, Drayton, as the sequel calls him, goes at the girl with the broom. And then of course when he's going after Leatherface, "You ruined the door!" That whole thing. Then, of course, when they're mocking her at the table. And then, of course, the moment where the guy throws a wrench in him. There were some people commenting on him. I had one comment I wanted to say, but I didn't think it would be appropriate. Or at least I didn't know if it'd get a good laugh. It's the moment where the first guy gets hit in the head with a hammer. I was thinking of going, "Head cheese!" Because I was thinking that, like, hey, that'd be a good one-liner. Like I think me and my friend Effrey have to redo our commentary of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one, so if we ever do get around to it, that'd be a good comment for that moment. And here it comes. Head cheese, anyone? And maybe I'll run it by it one of these days, because last couple times we tried to record it, it didn't record. We'll probably have to do a test before. I still got the commentary we did of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, so maybe I'll upload that on here one of these days. It's been online for a while, so I might as well. Anyway, nothing really much else to say about it. It was a good theater experience. Very fun to see this film on the big screen with an audience of fellow fans. Only thing I think that could have made it better is if some of the stars who are still alive were there, like if Gunnar Hansen and Tobe Hooper were there, but I don't know if they'd come to a small theater like this for something unless they're the ones who are organizing the showing, but it would have been nice, like have a Q&A with them before or after, or even have them do a live commentary thing at certain points of the film, kind of like how those people from Mystery Science Theater sometimes will do, but that's a little different thing. Anyway, that's all that's to say about it. It's a fun theater experience. It gets my stamp of approval, and it makes me, I can't wait to see The Exorcist on the big screen in a couple weeks. And as a side note, and a week after that, I'll be seeing Psycho on the big screen, because another theater around here, occasionally we'll do throwback cinema. They do theirs on Sunday, which I'm like, really? You do it on Sunday? At least it's in the early afternoon and not late at night, so that kind of balances it out. This month they're mostly doing Hitchcock films, like they just did Dial M for Murder. They're going to be doing The Trouble with Harry, but the last week that they're doing it, they're doing Psycho, and that's the one I really want to go see. the real granddaddy of slasher films. It doesn't have all the elements, but this is the film that laid the basic groundwork in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Black Christmas, and then eventually Halloween picked up the speed, and then we got the full-on slasher template. So look forward to a theater experience episode on that film coming soon.